What is up, YouTube? So today, and Hexicans, of course. So today I want to talk a little bit about the topic that I want to call, and I wrote it down. The HEX 693 million euro, November 19, big payday. Will crypto mainstream miss it? This is something that I am super curious about because as Richard has been saying, I think or that I saw in one video, that most people aren't even aware, they don't even know that the big payday exists. And now we are, maybe that video in a long video from Richard, maybe that was 2 months ago or something like that, I saw that video. And it's kind of interesting with HEX because I don't think so many more people actually know, even speculators that are buying the HEX crypto, that it seems like there's not a lot of people that knows that at the moment, last time I checked, 693 million euros of coins, of course that's in HEX coins, 183 billion coins, will be paid out to stakers on November 19th, 2020. 693 million euro. And I like to quote that in euro because it sounds more cool than US dollars. US dollars would be, I don't know, I haven't done the math, but it's higher, I think around $700 million. No, actually maybe like $800 million. Who knows? But in euros, it's 693 million euros. I hope I said that correct. Yeah, will crypto mainstream miss it? So what do I mean with crypto mainstream? Well, I mean the general crypto community as we know, which is a lot of people from 2017, late 2017 that came in, a lot of DPoS people, a lot of Bitcoin people, a lot of Litecoin people, a lot of EOS people, a lot of XRP people. I mean, a lot of Ethereum guys. Are many of these guys going to miss the November 19th big payday? I think they will, to be honest. Now with mainstream people just in general, yeah, they for sure gonna miss it. Like, I mean, so let me tell you my experience. I'm just gonna have some coffee. So I've seen on my Twitter that I've been getting a few more people into crypto, I think, that wasn't here in the past. I can, for example, see it when they follow my Twitter, and it seems to be a lot of people that probably never was in Bitcoin. So I think there is a lot of people. Basically, the first experience of crypto is actually HEX, and they kind of enjoy it because it's in general, it's a better product. It has a better market, and everyone knows that it's going to have low inflation after 2020. That the inflation is going to be max 3.69% if 100% of the coin staked. But at the moment, the average staker, I think, is around 20% inflation, because the average stake length is around 5 years, or actually 4.66 years. But people that are doing 10-year stakes, they get, I think, around 32%, almost 33% at the moment, inflation per year, or this API score. I don't know exactly how that one works, because I know that you get 20% extra shares per year, but then you also have the inflation rate combined with that. I'm not exactly sure how that works exactly, but yeah, all I know is, yeah, you do get more shares if you stake longer, and yeah. So as people have talked about in the past a little bit, that it's most of the times from what we have seen in HEX. So HEX came out 8 months ago. What mainly has moved the price has been when a major ETH whale has came in, and it seems like that is what's going to happen sometime again. Okay, price can go to zero, nobody knows. Project complete, no promises, no expectations. But it seems I would guess that there's gonna be some formal pump, maybe in August. It seems like August can be likely for some kind of price action in HEX, mainly because I talked about it in the past. There's like a lot of things going on in August. A lot of things are coming together kind of around the same time, and we've been seeing there's a lot of things happening with Ethereum, a lot of experimentation there, and we've seen that when Ethereum goes up, a side benefit of being HEXGAN, because HEX and ETH is being traded against each other, is that we also benefit from that. And we have seen that on Uniswap V2, how you that you've been seeing some price rise, price appreciation, and that has definitely been kind of nice. So yeah, what about the mainstream? The crypto mainstream, it's very, very interesting because so I've been very consistent in doing HEX videos. I did 1 hour long HEX videos already in December 2019. And I could not imagine that it would take even 8 months in, and even after the success of HEX, I cannot imagine that there's so many people in the general crypto mainstream that are still 100% ignoring HEX. I mean, 100%. Even guys are talking about DeFi coins. They are going out of their way to not mention HEX. And companies, crypto companies, they're also going out of their way to not cover HEX. But the companies and so on, I kind of understand it in some ways, how maybe they have some kind of agenda and so on. But like individual influencers, crypto influencers, they should be way smarter. I think they should kind of talk about it. I mean, they should have been able to study it a lot in 8 months, the share price and like going over everything. So I studied HEX before it launched for around 12 months. And it was after I'd done proper research for many, many months and watched almost all the videos in there December 2019. That was when I was like, okay, this looks so legit. And I even tried to find, okay, is there any nonsense anywhere? I couldn't find anything, and I did my proper research, and it was like, wow, this kind of looks nice. And 8 months in, also 8 months later, I've been paying very, very close attention to stuff, and I haven't really noticed anything weird. So it's almost like, for me personally, I've been able to monitor this for almost 2 years now, and I haven't found any nonsense whatsoever. And it's like a lot of these other crypto influencers, like what's nice now is that we're seeing some better crypto content. I think again there are some late 2017 crypto guys that are finally coming back into the space. They're still not covering HEX though, but maybe they will quite soon, because as I talked about in previous videos, HEX is soon gonna enter the $2 billion market cap, and that is probably gonna make way more people pay attention, because we saw some ETH guys really starting to pay attention when we like hit $1 billion. And I've been seeing the charts. I mean, it seems like we're gonna be top 60 in crypto again kind of soon. I mean, already right now it's like top 19, and if it goes up $113 million more, then we're top 60 in crypto again. And I think our top position all time is top 15 or something like that. So we would almost be top position there. And I saw price from all-time high was as low as only needed like a 29% boost to go up to previous all-time high in May the 14th this year. And that was really interesting, because we used to be down like 50%, and 29%, I mean, when it's only like 20% eventually, 20% away from previous all-time high, pretty close to you only need then like a little baby pump, and then you can have a new all-time high. And if you have a new all-time high, I mean, if we do have a new all-time high in HEX, I mean, we're gonna be so close to that $2 billion market cap, and then we're gonna have probably so much momentum that $3 billion are gonna happen fairly fast, and that is probably when way more people in the crypto mainstream really gonna start paying attention, because I do not think they want to miss out then. I mean, we still have around 4 months left until the AA phase is kind of over. But after that November 19th day, I mean, you're never gonna, like, the share rate is gonna change so dramatic on November the 19th or on November the 20th, when probably some people will end their stakes and take profit, and it's gonna change the share price. So if people want to get in again and they want to restake or something like that, if they have taken profit and they made a lot of HEX, that's going to change for them, because they're going to have to pay way more to get in, especially if they want to have a ton of shares. So it's going to be, I mean, November 2020 is going to be super, super exciting month, because if people also see, when the crypto mainstream see that, or when we no longer have the AA, the adoption amplifier, and when we only have, you can only get Uniswap either by minting it from staking, or when you only can get it via Uniswap, and you don't have this, like, you can send ETH somewhere. I think then probably way more people in the crypto mainstream are probably gonna start to be like, wow, especially if we don't know if it's gonna massively dump on November 19th or on November 20th. But if they see that it doesn't really dump that much, maybe it dumps massively. But I mean, we have to see, right? But if you would have a scenario where it wouldn't dump that much, they probably would be like, okay, that's kind of interesting, and probably more people will start paying attention, because as I talked a little bit about in the past, HEX is one of these projects that, well, the more it goes up, the more people probably want to get it. And since it's designed in this way, where we already know right now that people are locked up for so long time, like for 4 years and maybe some 5 years, since people are locked up for such a long time, that means probably if the price goes up, eventually probably won't have as much downward movement in the long term, because probably the higher it goes in USD value, probably more and more people are going to start to, let's say, become a believer and so on. Because this is what we saw with the last pump, that people didn't like it when the price was super low, but after it went up 100x, there was way more people that were kind of curious about HEX, and like they love it more when it's high. And that is kind of like how people are, right? And it's also is kind of interesting if new people would come into this project. It's kind of cool how we have like a Hexagon climate, a Hexagon community that are saying, and you have this narrative of like, yeah, you should probably stake at least the average length if you actually want to get a lot of shares and a lot of HEX. And I don't think there's that many people that that are gonna recommend people doing short stakes in the future, because the longer time this this exponential share price keeps on going, that it goes exponential up, the more you're gonna lose eventually if you are one of those short staker guys that always takes profits. Eventually you're gonna exponentially get a worse deal compared to the long stake guys, and that is something that's super, super exciting about this project compared to other projects that do not have a share price system. So all these other projects, people can dump the coins whenever they want, and that's why probably a lot of those other altcoins are not really doing something super, super exciting. I mean, now when I'm looking at this space, most of the other coins for me are super, super boring. Like the only other coin that I'm super looking forward to is DTC coin with DTube and their new Avalon blockchain, which is a blockchain, and from what I understand from the GitHub page, it's written in JavaScript, and I never really seen anything like that before, and I kind of enjoy using DTube a long time to upload videos there, and I love how they have a lot of upload ways, IPFS. You can do a direct upload. You can share a video from your YouTube page or Twitch page. I like how inclusive it feels, and I also like how inclusive the token system feels, kind of like a faster version of DPoS, but with a better voting power system, where you can store up power for a longer time than like 6 months instead of just 7 days, as how it's working on DPoS systems like Steam. So that's the only other coin that I'm like super excited about. The rest of the stuff mainly, so DTC and HEX, that's mainly what I'm excited about. The rest of the stuff for me personally is not that exciting, because I sort of feel that most of it is pretty much nonsense, and there's not really any community around, or there's not really most of the times just like people are not competent, or they have no idea what they're doing. They usually have no idea what they're doing. They have no idea if they are in a good industry or if they have a real market. I know with DTC that we have a solid market, we have a real community. Video is a good market for a crypto, especially if you have already an established community, and we have that with the DTube community, which is very exciting. HEX, super exciting because it's a finished, completed project, no expectations, and Hexicans are super passionate about the project, and they stay super engaged, and yeah, it's just awesome. I never seen a community like the HEX community in the past in the cryptocurrency space, and I've been here since early 2018. So yeah, so miss out. Yeah, it's kind of sad how most people are gonna miss out in the crypto space on probably HEX, because I mean, main reason why I think most people are missing out is because they do not understand how the share price works. They do not understand. Yeah, if people really understood how the share price system worked and how it gives exponentially more shares or exponentially better rewards for people to stake in longer, if more people understood that, oh my god, like that would be so. Yeah, that probably they wouldn't miss out. Like they probably would do their best to get some HEX. Now, me personally, I missed out on Bitcoin. I missed out on Ethereum. I missed out on Steam. I mean, I came into Steam at the top, January 2018, but I missed it in 2016 and so on. So it's like I missed a lot of coins, and you don't like that. Like you do not like the experience of feeling you missed out when you actually could have gotten in. So I could have gotten into Bitcoin January 2013, and I missed that. And that kind of sucks. And I remember pretty early trying out Ethereum, downloading the client that they had for Windows, I think, or maybe it was for Mac. But then I never bought the coins, and it was like there was a mistake. And then when you do those mistakes, or like when you see stuff, some stuff that didn't work out, like my Steam investment didn't work out, mainly because people were like incompetent and like dishonest. But when you get those experiences, you learn pretty fast, and that was kind of like why I paid super much attention to HEX, because when I really love something, when I see it works amazing, so then I double down on that. So I saw, for example, that everything I studied about HEX was like super amazing, and yeah, so I loved it a lot, and that's why I kind of stuck with it. because I do believe that there are a few key things in this industry that are going to work exponentially well, while most of the other things are probably not going to work well. Now, most of these other things, as I said in the past, they can actually work if people are consistent. But most of the times, people are not consistent. They do something for a while, maybe 1 year, and then they go do something else. So it's like they were so close to success most of the times, but then they start doing something else and they don't learn and they don't become more intelligent because they start in a new field and they have to relearn stuff in that field, and it's kind of pathetic, to be honest. So I love the consistency with the Hexagon community, and yeah, it is kind of sad how the crypto mainstream will miss out on Hex. But we told them, like we told them in so many videos about that maybe they should check out Hex, maybe they should respect this project. But yeah, maybe they learn when when Hex hits $100 billion market cap, who knows. So yeah, they're probably gonna miss out, and it's a little bit sad. And then they're probably gonna go and chase the next bag, because they're like obsessed about this other DeFi nonsense. They're mainly like trash coins. They're super excited about that, but they're not excited about real DeFi. That's kind of weird, dude. But yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. So if they miss out on Hex, they're probably going to be like desperate to jump into something else, maybe DTC, if DTC is low and hasn't pumped yet, who knows. Yeah, have a great day.